Welcome to Dissensio Podcast.
Welcome to Dissensio Podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to the second episode of our podcast, bro. This took a long time to get here, but
yeah, a lot of trials and tribulations, man.
Nah,
I ain't
that's a
gonna
fact.
hold you. Yeah, life be lifing, man.
listen, yo, bro, y'all don't even know the half, but it's
Right.
all good. Look, let's just get into it. Yeah, I'm saying I would introduce our guests, but I'm gonna allow the guests to introduce themselves. Yeah, I'm saying, because I know how you be.
Yeah.
When you say stuff, it be prophetic.
I'm telling you, man.
You know what I'm saying? It be prophetic when you say it.
Man.
So
And
go ahead and introduce
I listen
yourself,
to
brother.
every word, so let's get it.
Ashe. Well, man, listen, hey, man, I appreciate y'all for having me. You know what I
Love.
mean? For
love,
real.
love.
And you know, just it's a beautiful thing to see us doing our own thing.
Yeah,
Most
yeah.
definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I really appreciate. I salute y'all for.
I appreciate you.
It took a long time.
Hey, I appreciate you for being here,
Oh,
man.
man.
Because I'm gonna be honest right now. Yeah, I kind of, you know what I mean. You know how that little starstruck moment hits you. Like, damn, man, I see, man. Come on, man.
That's
It's
love.
that kind of reaction.
That's love.
I mean,
That's love.
and why you looking at me like that?
It's-
Yo,
Man.
it is what
Listen,
it is.
yo. Listen, I'm gonna ask you a personal question. How you put your pants on?
With my right leg. and then my
Okay,
left.
all right. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he put his pants on the same way.
Ashe.
But see, I understand because I have a history of
Yeah.
like being, you know what I mean, around actors and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
it doesn't really do nothing for me.
Yeah,
Right.
Like,
Felt.
you know what I mean? I could see past the character, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
could see the actual person. And plus, me and you got a history.
We got a history.
Yeah, I mean, we've been knowing each other for how long now?
Wow, we'll see. For at least, man, I want to say we hitting like about 10 years.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Sheesh.
Yeah.
You put
bro.
up with it for that long?
Hey, man, listen.
What? What are we
And
doing
listen,
here?
see, we still on a learning curve. So
Yeah.
introducing
Yes, sir.
our first guest of the Dissensio Podcast,
Mm,
actor,
mm.
author,
Yes, Ashe. Ooh,
teacher,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
creative,
Mm.
Jason Lauder.
Yo, so
Welcome, brother.
Yo.
Welcome,
I'm telling
welcome.
I'm telling people Jason C. Louder now.
Oh,
Put that.
I got you. Hold
Yeah.
on. I got you. Let's
Mister.
right.
No, mister.
Let's bring it back. Hold
Mister.
on. Let's bring it back one time.
Let's do it.
Introducing our very first guest of our Dissensio Podcast,
Yes, sir.
actor, author,
Yeah.
teacher,
Yeah.
creative, all around down to earth man,
Mm.
Jason capital C Lauder.
Yeah.
Bong.
If you don't know who it is, Google his name. Google it.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Google
that's
it.
crazy, bro.
Google it.
That and that's surreal. Somebody told me that they were like, "Yo, I told somebody to Google you," and I was like, "What? Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
that's surreal, man." And I'm just I'm grateful, and I'm a vessel.
And
Right.
see,
You
bro,
know what I
that's one thing. I could say this because I'm comfortable with you, and I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with self saying this.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I've always loved about you, brother.
Mm,
Right?
mm.
Since the day we met
Yeah.
years ago,
Yes, sir.
when I was starting when I was thinking about starting my web series, right?
Yes.
And we met at the screening room.
Screening room. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
spoke about it.
Mm.
I remember, I think it was the next day or a
Yeah.
couple days, you came to my apartment
Yes, sir.
and we sitting in my living room, bro, and we just brainstorming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we just brainstorming and going over there. I'm like, bro, this is my vision.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to do. Bro was like, you know what, bro? Yo, whatever you want to do, I'm down.
Yeah, man.
I'm down. Whatever you want to do,
Yes,
just let me
sir.
know.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
down.
Yes, sir.
And then you was in not the first one.
Right.
Because I had to get the proof of concept out.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But you blessed me
Mm.
even when I was going through my stuff and all that. I had to take a break, whatever. But you still blessed me by coming on to my project and giving yourself of my
Wow.
project.
Wow.
And I don't even know if I said this to you, bro. I
Mm.
appreciated.
Mm.
at that point,
Yes, sir.
right? Because I was going through my depression and everything like that.
Yes, sir.
You don't know what that meant to me.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It might have been something small for you, but to me, it was like a stamp. Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Wow, man.
Yeah, I'm saying, despite you working on everything you working on and stuff like that, you still was like, all right, bro, look. But outside of all that, yeah, bro, if you need me, I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it grew into past just business stuff. It grew into a friendship.
Yes, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I appreciate you for that.
Man, that's love. That's love. And I'll say this, OC, like, my dad always told me, he told us when we were growing up, like, be the change you want to see. Never understood what that meant.
Right.
Until I got older.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, because he was like, yo, if you want people to love you, you have to be loved. You have to show that first. If you want people to support you, you got to support your people. If you want people to celebrate you, you got to celebrate.
Right.
So you have to be the change that you want to see. And so that's been with me since I was little and didn't even know it. That seed was planted, and that's kind of how I live my life, man.
Gotcha.
So
I love that, man. It shines through, bro.
So who was that mentor for you transitioning into acting?
Wow.
That buddy, that friend, that you got this.
Yeah.
That person for you.
You know what? I tell people all the time. Well, actually, my homeboy, Stevie Baggs, he now says it. He got a phrase for it.
Shout out Stevie.
Yeah, shout out Stevie. Your tribe is your vibe. So in acting classes, we became this tribe. So when I started working with Victor Love, that was my first tribe.
Right.
And we supported each other like family. Like, although we were taking classes together, if somebody, I didn't have enough money to eat, yo, Stella was like,
this is your community.
Come to my house and you can get some. I got some pasta. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Self tapes.
Right.
So I can't afford to go to no self tapes. Yo, come to my house. You know what I'm saying? We'll put each other on tape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's how we developed.
I feel like we lost a lot of that each one teach one. That still sharpen steel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those back in the day teachings. Yo, if you don't have, I got you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like we, for the most part, have lost sight of that.
And that's how we was raised.
Right.
I'm from here. I'm from Atlanta, College Park. If I got in trouble, but Miss Carmichael house, Miss Carmichael called my mama. Jason, I had to whip him.
Right.
And so, when he get home, I got him too.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, dang, I got two.
Yeah, man.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. It was a community then. You need your tribe.
Yes, man.
Yeah. I love that, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
I feel like nowadays we at a time where it's like me needing something from you, but not you exactly.
Right.
As an example, right?
Yeah.
Me needing something from him, right? He would need something from me in return instead of just, listen, hold me up at this moment, bro.
Yes.
And allow me to get here.
Yeah.
Because when I get here, I'm picking you up.
100%.
Yeah, I'm saying?
100%.
I'm picking you up.
Yes.
And that's what I loved about going to acting class.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be an actor, but acting is therapeutic.
Oh, man, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
And seeing a lot of the actors like helping one another and hearing all the stories and the personal stories of certain actors and seeing them from like where they were to where they are now is crazy.
It's super crazy, right?
And they wouldn't have gotten there unless there was somebody to be like, yo, I'm willing to hold you down. I'm willing to be there for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to be that, that pedestal that you need to take a step.
100%, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Godly, man. I pray that we're able to bring that forward again.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it's lost. We just have to recycle it and reinvent it and bring rekindle it.
Right. Got you.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a few things, bro. Because you've been out here, man.
Yeah, you out here, my brother.
Blessings on blessings.
Yeah, I was waiting for this part anyway.
Yeah.
What took you so long?
You've been out here, brother.
Yeah.
You've been out here, brother.
Yeah.
You've been out here, brother.
Yes, sir.
I was like, is that my boy with Curtis 50 Cent Jackson?
Right.
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about that role, man, on BMF, brother.
Man, I'm gonna say this in all full honesty and transparency, man. My brother, before he got locked up, he told me, like, he said, "Hey, man, it's a show. I heard about this show coming out called BMF. He said, man, for some reason, I think you're going to be on that show. I was like, okay. That was before BMF came out. Season 1 audition. I didn't get no audition for it. I was like, all right, cool. And then he got locked up. My brother got locked up. I got an audition for this role. And my agent was like, yeah, they got an audition for BMF. I was like, oh, snap, okay. And I was already watching the show. I said, this show is dope. Did the audition, sent it back. About 2 weeks later, they were like, hey, they cast you, but it's not for that role. It's for another role. Would you be okay with it? I was like, what?
What?
Would I be okay with it? Yeah. I was like, let's go.
Right.
And so I got the script and I look at the name on the script and it said, written by Shaquela Mims. I said, Shaquela? I was like, yo. Right. 5 years prior to that, we were sitting, one of our friends was moving to LA. We had a dinner for her. Sean Matthews was having a dinner for her. Victoria was moving to LA. Yeah. So we have a dinner and Shaquela was like, yo, Jay, you killing it on Black Lightning. She said, we gonna work together one day. I said, wait, yes, we absolutely, Queen. Yes, sis. Put into the atmosphere. Universe heard it. When I saw her name, I said, yo, Shaquela, hey, I got the script. It's your name. She was like, oh yeah, you don't know? I wrote that role for you. And I told them that only Jason Lauder can play this role.
Wow. Cool.
That's crazy.
Man, that's big.
Yo,
that's huge.
I owe you my life. She said, you don't owe me nothing. Just play the role like I know you can. I said, yes, ma'am.
And see, that's what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was just talking about, bro.
Yeah, bro. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you.
Yes,
no, for sure.
Yeah.
And you definitely played the hell out of that role, bro. Like, yeah, my wife and I, we definitely watched the show. I mean, anything that ain't stars right now.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you know what?
I'm gonna have to slightly argue with you.
Okay.
What? Excuse me. On Hulu, Reasonable Doubt. If you haven't seen it,
oh wow,
check it out.
Okay, I've been told about it.
Reasonable Doubt.
I heard about it.
Fire.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
On Peacock, Bel Air.
Oh yeah, I'm already. I've been on Bel Air since the jump.
My God,
man, that's a show there.
I ain't gonna hold you. I feel left out because I haven't seen Bel Air. Oh man, I haven't seen Bel Air.
See, here's the thing. His OC issue. He don't like to watch TV anyway.
Here's my thing.
You have to make him. Hey, yo, this is like you have to break it down for him. This is fire, yo. Yeah. I'm telling you, once you start watching it, you ain't gonna want to stop.
I mean, but this is my thing though, bro. If I watch something, I literally watch a first episode and I get distracted and I go watch something else. And I never go back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. I give it 1 or 2 episodes to the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before I do
it gotta catch. It gotta catch. Yeah.
Now it has to.
But somebody just told me that she said, Jason, don't do that. She said you got to wait to the 5th episode and then you'll be. And I was like, 5.
I can see that.
I can see that. You know what I'm saying? I said, okay,
that
cool.
That
waiting game. You know what I'm saying? But then she said, once it hits you, you dropped in.
But that's more or less like a build up to, okay, I'm about to kill this now.
Yeah.
Right.
Sir. That's the same. It's very same. And then also Fight Night. Fight Night is dope.
Right. Yeah. Fight Night is a good one. Kevin Hart. Samuel Jackson.
Taraji P. Henson. Terrence Howard.
Man.
Don Cheadle.
You Don Cheadle?
Yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, you missing out on some good
send that
TV,
to me,
bro.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't mind watching it. I don't mind watching it.
Yeah,
you missing out on some good TV, man.
So, bro, okay, cool. So, how long have you been acting?
Wow, man. I tell people, man, acting found me in 2009.
Oh wow.
I was teaching elementary school from when I graduated from college. I started teaching elementary school. Okay. Well, I did 2 things. I was working for the YDC, the Youth Detention Center, and it shut down. And so I transitioned into education. So right. I was teaching. And I was in a rap group at the same time.
Oh man, what was your rap name?
Yo, my rap name was J Loud.
J Loud. Okay, that's you get those ones that say, yeah, I used to rap, and it be little drummer boy 22. What the? No, that ain't gonna work. But that was a good one. That's a good one.
And our group, everybody said we wanted to keep our own name. So my cousin, his name was Brian Price. His rap name was B Price.
Okay, yeah.
My homeboy, his name was Quam Scott. His name was Q Scott.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or we call him Quam. Yeah. Well, Quam Scott, that was his name.
Right.
And my other boy, his name was Kush.
What was the group name?
Unknown Seeds.
Unknown Seeds. Okay.
Yeah. It was. Okay. We called ourselves the Public Enemy of the South.
Right. Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? We was very conscious, very, very politically aware. You know what I'm saying? Just wanting to do music that made people think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So that put me in the mind frame of the role. Well, not necessarily that particular role, but the series itself. Wu-Tang, the Wu-Tang series. Yeah.
I get it. And I want to die.
Seeing this, you're right. Seeing this how like you went from Unknown Seeds to now he in the Wu-Tang series. How did that feel, man?
So I can before I get to the Wu, because that's a whole nother experience right there. But like my homeboy, he had called me one day. He was like, bro, he said you should be Oh yeah, and it's a little salaciousness, the little salaciousness.
Yeah,
so, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta hurry up and stop that. You know what I
mean?
Yeah. That was a little snippet.
Yeah, that was a little snippet.
That was a little snippet.
But yeah, man, he called me up. He was like, "Yo, Jay, you should go to this audition." I said, "For what?" He said, "For this play." I said, "For what?" He said, "Bro, like you the hype man of our group. You got all that energy, man. You should try acting." I was like, "All right, I'm not doing nothing, man." So I went to the audition. I walked in. She was like, "Here's your sides." I was like, "What you want me to do?" She was like, "Have you ever acted before?" I was like, "No." She was like, "Look over your sides and come back when we call you." So I looked over and I was like, "Oh man, this is powerful." So I walked in and she was like, "Are you gonna read with the director?" So I started reading. We started going back and forth. Man, as God is my witness, something spiritual happened, bro. And I was just kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
And we just kept going back and forth. And she was like, "Thank you." And I was like, "No, thank you." And then the next director was like, "Can you read mine too?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I got that, just went back and forth with her.
Right.
And I was like, "Yo, man, I'm grateful." And then the next one was like, "Hey, can you read mine? But can you use a Jamaican accent?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, if I bless up and team like that, and so we connected, and then the director, the chair of the department, her name, she just transitioned 2 years ago, Dr. Charlene Holmes. She called and she was like, "Jason, louder." I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "So this doesn't happen. This never happens." She said, "You got cast in all
Damn.
the
wow.
plays." She said, "But I can only let you choose 2 because that wouldn't be fair for you because you never really acted before, and then that wouldn't be fair for the director." She says, "You can choose 2." I chose that first one. It was called Our Liberated Justice. It was by Dr. Asantewa Suni Ali. It was about her parents who were they were part of the Black Panther Party,
right?
And they got framed for robbing a Brinks truck in New York, and then they had to flee, seek political asylum in Cuba. So I did that one right there. That was powerful. And then the second one I did was called Salam. It was about this Muslim terrorist who he ran into the Twin Towers, but then before he transitioned, he had to atone with the Creator.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was just me on stage by myself,
talking
to God.
Yeah. How is that, just being on stage by yourself, man. Just you,
man.
Like all eyes on you.
And it's so for me, I tell a lot of actors, I said, man, when I'm on stage, they don't exist.
Right.
It's me. If I'm in a play, it's me and my scene partner, and they're peeking. They're peeping toms. They're watching us. They're watching our lives. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I use it to get out of my head, if you will.
Right.
I'm like, the audience don't exist. Now, it is some energy. You do feel the audience energy because they're laughing or something. Like you might hear that. But for me, to make it make sense for me, I tune them out.
Right. And I always pictured it like, damn, I'm gonna picture everybody else naked and embarrassed, and I'm just up here doing my thing.
Well, you know what? I actually did a play naked. Yeah, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We ain't got no clips of that. No, we ain't doing
that. No, it was only for a moment, but it was a play that had no words.
Gotcha.
And so I was playing a young boy who had been molested. And so just gotten back. My molester threw me back into the basement, and I had to go find myself and cover myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And wash myself off.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I noticed is like, so back in 2018, when I used to do like a lot of acting classes and stuff, and I just used to have everyone come to my apartment.
Yeah.
We'd be there for hours eating.
Yeah. I love those, by the way.
Yo,
yeah,
I miss those. I miss those.
Yes, sir.
One thing we used to do is like Meisner technique, right? The first time I did the Meisner technique, I was at the booking room.
Yeah. Shout out to the booking room,
Shout out
man.
to the booking room. I miss the booking room
Me
too, bro. I'm not even gonna hold.
Me too.
It was with what's his name? Patrick Walker.
Yes.
Patrick Walker
Shout
was
out
the teacher. Shout out Patrick Walker.
Yeah.
Patrick Walker was the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
He had everybody stand together, right?
Mhm.
Like everybody just partner up. He was like,
Mhm.
all right, so look at everybody deep in their eyes.
Yes.
I was like, what's about
The
to
mirror.
happen?
The mirror.
I forgot the girl that I was that I was partnered with.
Mm.
But we looked at each other and he
Mhm.
said, like, okay, imagine us like in school together, having different experiences together, etc.
Mhm.
He's just building this picture
Mhm.
so we can be familiar.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, we can just have those memories, those
Mhm.
feelings, those
Mhm.
pains, da. At the end of that, he said, now imagine that individual dies. Bro, I was so in it.
Yeah.
I was so in it with the end of me and her started crying. Half of the room started crying, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean? Like, and I really felt like I lost somebody. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the beauty. Sanford Meisner says, living truthfully under imaginary circumstances.
Right.
So our imagination, and I teach students acting now. I say your imagination is your superpower.
Mm-hmm.
That's your superpower.
Yeah.
You imagined that she had died.
Yeah.
That's how real it was. That's how real, because you imagine the circumstances, the situations, you imagine everything that y'all have been through, that y'all had lived through, and then she died.
Right.
That's the raw, pure, authentic connection in your imagination.
Right.
So you don't have to use your mom dying. And some people do that. That's
right.
fair.
Right.
But you imagine it. That's how powerful our imaginations are.
Right.
To make your body felt like this is somebody who you really lost.
So
yeah,
if you will appease me, right? Let's do something real quick.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
Now, you cool with that?
Yeah. I don't know, OC. I don't know if I'm ready today. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, I don't know if I'm ready today either.
Man,
but as soon as we just spoke about that, I was like, you know what? Let's see if we could do something real quick.
Man, boy, look at here, man.
Let's see where that could go,
man. Ooh, boy.
And see, okay, because you might be like, yo, why you acting like this? This it's nothing, right? It's a lot, right? Because you gotta understand when you're acting, you're embodying who you're trying to portray. I'm trying to get the audience to believe that I've experienced this pain, that I've went through this happiness. Now, I mean, that me and this person are brothers, that me and this person are enemies, that me and this person are this and that, right? So it's not acting, it's real life.
I mean, and Margie Haber says, it's you're living a slice of life, right?
Right.
She said the script, she doesn't even call it a script or side. She calls it slices of life. And so some of the parts that people don't see, you see the stuff on the page, but the parts that people don't see, that's where you get to use your creativity and create all of that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like our imagination is our superpower.
Right.
Because we can imagine anything.
Right.
Anything.
So the other side to that coin, do you think real life experience make it even halfway decent actor?
Oh, absolutely, bro. And so, okay, so Ivana Chubbuck has a technique called the power of the actor.
Gotcha.
You do use your real life circumstances to create that emotional bank. You pull from that. That's how she wants you to pull from that emotion. Like, remember when your mama died? How'd you feel? So if somebody's remembering when their mama died, oh man, bro.
Yeah.
You can't fake that.
Right.
But you got but
as soon as you said that, my mind just said boom.
Boom. Right? So, but the kind of tricky thing about it is that if you haven't gotten therapy, if you haven't done like your own self, like self I want to call it self-actualization.
Right.
That could take you down a dark road, man. And nobody may be able to pull you back out of that.
Right.
So you got to be careful with that.
Yeah.
I just tell people to be careful, and that's a whole the method acting. You got to be careful with that method acting, man.
Yeah, it'll take you to a
dark place, man.
I mean, a lot of actors have went to that place
and not come back.
Right.
Yeah, method acting is different.
Yeah.
I remember. So, I was like teaching actors back in like I think it was 2022 or something like that. I was just having some actors come over. We would just play certain games and stuff like that. And then we were doing a scenario where you were given a situation with an individual, and you had to play that scene through, but it had to be believable. And there was an emotion, a random emotion that was thrown out, and you would have to convey that emotion. So there was I forgot his name, but there was a young man that came. It was a young man and a young girl that was there. And then they were acting together, and he was trying to portray an emotion. Right. I forgot what emotion it was, but it had to bring like vulnerability. Yeah, I mean, he had to be vulnerable, and he just could not break that barrier. So I was like, bro, what is it? I was like, all right, cool. Like, let's just sit. Like, what is it? What's that one thing that's stopping you from being vulnerable? Like, what is it? It took us like 30 minutes. Wow. He finally was like, he finally was like his dad. I was like, okay, so you holding on something like with your dad? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. So speak to him, right? So you're not speaking to her no more. Speak to him. Bro, when I tell you, his shoulders dropped and he was speaking to her like he was speaking to him. And mind you, he used to come to my house like every couple weeks. For the first time ever, his shoulders dropped and he got vulnerable, and you could see the tears. His eyes were welting up. Wow. And you could see the tears coming down. And I wish I recorded that moment because it was so pure and genuine. And like you could see that he needed that.
Yeah, he needed it.
I mean, he needed that within that moment. And I couldn't say nothing.
Yeah. And you know, and that's a like powerful and beautiful. Yes. And I kind of warn actors to not use acting as your therapy.
Right.
Get therapy.
Yeah.
Right.
And acting can also be part of it can be therapeutic.
Right.
Don't let it be your therapy.
Right.
It can't be your therapy.
Right.
It could be a form.
It could be a form, like you said, therapeutic.
An escape, so to speak.
Yeah, so to speak. But it can't be the therapy. It can't be this is how I get my therapy. I'm doing acting. No, man, you got to get help for that, man. We all, and it's nothing wrong with getting help. It's nothing wrong with getting help. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So what would you say your most rewarding project was?
Most rewarding?
Like, forget the money it paid, forget the accolades. The project that gave you the most, this is me, this is what I want to do. This is my life. Deep.
Wow.
Things that make you go.
I mean, that's Arsenio all day right there, bro. That's because.
Calm down, you don't know about
that.
Okay. Man, I would honestly probably have to say, when I did Fences at Southside Theater Guild, I got to play Lions, King of the Jungle.
Right. Okay.
And man, that was, I hadn't done August Wilson. That was my first time doing August Wilson.
Right.
And I was like, wow, this is powerful, man.
Right. You feel it in your spirit.
I felt it in my spirit, man. Every night I came out, I walked in that, and also that was, man, it was a little traumatic too, because that was the year Whitney Houston had passed during our run. Gotcha. She had passed.
Yeah, rest in peace, Whitney. Yeah,
and I ain't gonna never forget that.
Right.
Yeah, we had got the news that night, one of our show nights, that she had just died, and I was
like, wow.
So I'm gonna always remember. Yeah, rest in peace, Whitney. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Rest in power. Yeah.
Rest in power. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, but also gotta talk about. I mean, you also did a animation.
Yeah,
right?
man. I'm working on an animation right now with my brother Steve Gord.
Let's
Halls.
let's play that real quick.
Yes. Uptown Chronicles, baby.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, them brothers are masterful, man. I'm proud of them, and I'm grateful that they asked me to be a part of this, bro. Like, yeah. Wow.
Long have I awaited many things, but none longer than this moment. What is power, if not knowledge? Commerce. The ability to buy or sell that which is needed for creature comforts? Or the ability to snuff out existence? None of that is the answer. Life is power. The power to learn. The power to experience. The power to conquer. The power to rule. What am I missing? This has to be the key. The key. There can't be any other. It doesn't make any sense.
Little girl, yeah.
Gentle parenting, they said. Wave of the future, they said. Children should be both heard and seen, they said.
I can't be mad at my two little prodigies.
That's Steve.
Blazing the innovations of today. Asimov's dreams, now in the palm of our hands. Hyman's imagination, now the blueprint for the majesty of technology.
Get those kids to school, Dre.
That's a black mama.
The golden child.
That's me.
Does it again.
I'm playing Tariq.
No, I hate that nickname.
Okay.
Well, maybe you should work harder on not being so much better than the rest of us. I truly.
That's Lil Zane.
Okay.
You know, these things wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
If you just...
That queen right there, she's dope. Shari.
Apply myself. Right.
It's just so much pressure. The one day I'm off my game, what happens then? People only build you up just so that it's so much sweeter when you come crashing down.
Come on, Tosh. Who's to say you have to come crashing down? You haven't failed yet. And judging by your intelligence and determination, who's to say you never will?
You sound like my dad.
So let's talk about that, bro. Let's talk about that experience.
Yeah.
I mean, how was that experience?
Man, bro. So that's the trailer for their for our proof of concept. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So right now we're in the funding stages of that. But man, Steven, man, we went to college together. We went to Georgia Southern University together. Both MCs battling each other.
Gotcha.
And you know how after you graduate, you lose touch with sometimes some people.
Right. Yeah.
He refounded each other after I did a voiceover commercial for Adidas. He reached out. He was like, "Bro, you know, I'm been doing voiceover for a minute." I was like, "Oh, word." So he was like, "Yeah, I'm coming back into it now." He was like, "Can you help me?" And I was like, "Can I help you, bro?" He said, "Bro, you did an Adidas commercial." I said, "Man, that was God. That wasn't me."
Right.
And so he was like, "All right, well, just tell me who you working with." And I told him I've been working with this group of actors voice actors who work together, African American POC, they call them BIPOC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we had a group, Aurelia Michael, she had one of the group for people called Voice on Demand. And it was a bunch of voice actors, black voice actors who helped each other. And I was like, yo, go to them. So he went to them. After he went to them, bro, he took off. So he started booking everything. I'm talking about ESPN, Adidas, Nike, and so then he was like, bro, I'm working on my own thing now. And I want you to be a part of it. It's called Uptown Chronicles.
Nah, that's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
Yeah.
So listen, I want to say this from the bottom of my heart, bro. I appreciate you.
Oh man.
For coming on here, taking time out your schedule to come on here.
Bro.
Before we wrap, right?
Yes, sir.
What's some advice, you know what I'm saying, you would give to like the new actors coming up? Like, what would you tell them?
It's called show business for a reason. I get it that we want to study the craft. Of course, that's the first thing I'm gonna say. Study, train. Get in the class.
Right.
Find your tribe, right? Also know the business. Create your LLC. Learn who are the major companies. You know what I'm saying? Viacom owns Disney. Or Viacom owns Sony. So
Do your due diligence.
Do your due diligence. Study that. Study
Yeah.
that part, because that part right there, that's what's gonna get you. That's what's gonna keep you in the game.
Right,
man.
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
gonna keep you in it, man. Because the landscape is changing so dramatically that you now have to be your own business. You have to be your own business.
Nah,
now.
for
You know
sure.
what I'm saying? You got to have your own studio,
Absolutely.
your
For
own
sure.
production company.
Yeah.
You have
Right.
to, man. So that's what I would tell them, man. Study, train, and know the business.
Nah, that's gems.
the
What's
business.
your socials?
Oh man,
Like, where can they follow you and contact you, bro?
Yeah, well, on Instagram it's just Jason.Louder. On Facebook it's just my name, Jason Louder, and then on is it called Twitter?
What they call
X. My bad. Yeah.
We all getting there, man. We all getting
I'm
there.
learning. I'm still learning, bro.
Right.
I mean, just call it Twitter.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's just So it's Jason Louder. You know what I'm saying, there too. And like now, bro, I'm blessed to be able to just tell people, hey, Google me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
a
beautiful,
flex.
Man.
That's a flex.
one time. Google
Nah,
me.
that's a flex right there. for
Google
sure.
me, man.
Hey, brother, love.
King, you
I
already
appreciate
know.
you coming on, brother.
Absolutely. I
Already.
appreciate it,
Love
my
y'all, man.
brother.
I'm
Man,
ready.
Come on, man. Let's keep
Beautiful.
rising.
Most definitely.
Let's keep rising.
Most definitely. We got to.
Yeah, bro.
Got to.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hey, yo, appreciate y'all for tuning in to
Yeah.
Dissensio Podcast.